The end of an era. In the early morning darkness on July 21, 2011, the Space Shuttle Atlantis touched down and thus spent 12 days in space. It was 135th time a space shuttle had gone into space. It was also the last time the National Aeronautics and Space Administration space shuttle would make a journey to space. The Space Shuttle was the world's first reusable spacecraft. Shuttles carry people and scientific experiments on Earth orbit. They were used to launch, recover, and repair satellites, and to help assemble the International Space Station. Once Atlantis touched down, however, this spacecraft was only seen on display in museums. By 2011, the space shuttles were getting old, but that wasn't the only reason NASA stopped using them. They were also expensive to launch and difficult to maintain. The shuttle could be used to do some amazing things that no spacecraft could do. They could grab satellites from orbit and return them safely to the Earth. The task that NASA took on was using shuttles was simply too expensive for NASA to continue. Many people were sad to see the shuttle program end. NASA was getting out of business for carrying people and things back and forth between the Earth and space. In order to focus on space and exploration, the agency also planned new missions to send robotic robots and people to exciting destinations such as Mars for the first time. NASA made the decision to turn over the more common types of missions to commercial companies. The dawn of a new era, when the space age began in the late 1950s, only the United States and Soviet Union had the money, resources, and technology for space travel. Over time, the more nations and even some commercial companies entered space business. In 1960s, private companies began building their own communication satellite. They still use the government launch vehicle to carry the satellites out to space. By the 1980s, private companies were building their own rockets for launching satellites into orbit. By the mid-1990s, smaller, newer companies were entering the space business. What these companies lacked in experience made up their effort. The advances in technology put within reach of many business owners. Companies uh, were competing with each other for a piece of the space. Many kinds of space missions. They began to take tourists on the edge of the space and back, deliver crews and supplies to orbit, and put up new space stations. A second space race in 1996, the Ansari Express was announced. It was a special competition to speed up development of private spaceship. The $10 million prize would go first private to build a pilot spaceship into space with at least one person on board and room to carry two others. To win the X prize, the spaceship would have to fly at least 62 miles up and return to Earth. Then the team would have to do the whole trip over and over within 2 weeks. It took 8 years for someone to claim the $10 million prize. In 2004, the American company Scale Composite won it with the vehicle Spaceship One. Spaceship One didn't take from runaway like an airplane or blast off a total rocket. Instead, a plane named White Knight carried Spaceship One up to 50,000 feet and released the space plane from beneath its belly. Within seconds, Spaceship One rocket engine roared, pushing the vehicle to more than 3,000 miles per hour, almost 4 times the speed of sound. The wait, yeah, the small space plane then climbed past 62.1 just beyond the edge of space. Ticket to Ride. The company Virgin Galactic partnered with the makers of the spaceship One to make space tourism available to people all over the world. The company is already selling tickets for cheap for $200,000 per passenger, less than 1% of what someone has to pay to travel into space. Spaceship Two is the spacecraft that the Virgin Galactic would use to carry tourists into space. It has its own mothership, White Knight 2, and uses a design that is similar to Spaceship One, though it is larger. Like Spaceship One, it is designed to fly to the edge of the space and back. Passengers on board Spaceship Two will experience about 6 minutes of waitlist before returning home. When Spaceship Two is ready to return to Earth, the pilot will tilt on the window to slow down the vehicle, and and the body fall back to Earth, much badminton birdie, and slowing down Spaceship Two keeps it from getting too hot during the re-entry. Because it heats up less, it doesn't need the heavy heat shield that many other spaceships use. Launching from the White Knight 2 allows the spaceship to use less fuel to reach space. This saving helps keep down the cost. Once the spaceplane has descended to an altitude of 13.2 miles, the pilot moves the wings back to the normal position, and the spaceplane can then glide for landing on a big runway at Spaceport America in New Mexico. The entire flight is expected to take about 2 hours. In October 2014, one pilot died when Spaceship Two crashed in California during a test flight, which reminded everyone of the risk of the new technology. The company plans to continue working to save commercial spaceflight. Space delivery service. People living and working in space for long periods of time need regular deliveries of supplies and equipment. Soon after the Ansari X Prize competition ended in 2004, NASA announced that it would offer prizes for private announcements and would come up with creative, less expensive ways to move cargo from the Earth. ISS. In response to NASA's announcement, even more private companies began working on the new space vehicle. SpaceX is one company that has worked hard to develop a vehicle that can make regular trips to the ISS without such a high price tag. SpaceX has built a reusable spacecraft, the Dragon, that can fly without a crew. The Dragon capsule rides into the space on top of the Falcon 9 rocket, which is also built by the SpaceX. Once the capsule reveals near the ISS, it waits nearby so no bump to the station. Then the ISS crew uses the station robotic arm to grab the spacecraft. SpaceX began delivering supplies and equipment to the ISS in 2012. It also brings cargo back to Earth. When the Dragon leaves the ISS, it's splashing down the Pacific Ocean near California. SpaceX then collects the capsule and 2 parts of the rocket to use them again. People mover. Space station are spacecraft that place in long-term orbits around the Earth. Modern space stations often put together for many species. So once a space station is completed, crews can come on board to work and live. Scientists use the space station to study the effect of long-term space missions on people and also to do experiments in low-gravity environments. Scientists can do many experiments on board the ISS that could not be possible on Earth. The ISS is the largest one that never been built. It was created with the help of many nations at cost of billions of dollars. It can be seen night from the Earth with the naked eye. Since the first crew entered the ISS on November 2nd, 2000, it hasn't been empty. More than 200 people from 15 nations have visited the space station, moving people safely back and forth from space station such as the ISS, as an important job. In 2010, NASA asked a commercial company to design spacecraft to move people back and forth to space station. This ship would need to be able to carry 7 astronauts to the ISS. Then they would need to stay docked to 201 days before flying back to Earth and landing safely. NASA judged the early spaceship design and awarded money to 4 companies to develop the plan. A company called Sierra Nevada proposed a space glider called the Dream Chaser. It's designed to travel on space on top of a rocket but glide back down to Earth. SpaceX created a different version of its Dragon Castle for moving people back and forth to space station. 2 other companies, Boeing and Blue Origin, also designed capsules that would go up on a rocket and splash down to the ocean at the end of the mission. Private space station. What if you wanted to visit space for more than a few minutes at a time? At least one company, Bigelow Aerospace, is working to make a space hotel reality. Bigelow is creating a balloon habitat. The habitat folds up into a rocket cargo area and spans when placed to orbit. The company is working on a unit that will have 6 people in similar lines to the ISS. The skin of the polar habitat is made of soft fabric, such as mylar and Kevlar. Building a space station out of fabric seems strange, but petrol engineers say that the fabric will actually work better than metal. While this blow-up habit has won rally jets, Bigelow into 2 anti-test models into space, 2006 and 2007. If things go as planned, more pieces will be launched and joined to the world's first private space station. Conclusion. The final flight of the space shuttle marks the end of one period of the travel. It also meant the beginning of an exciting new age of commercial spaceflight. Private companies also during the world are working hard to build their spacecraft designed from the drawboards to the real world. Companies will provide many new options for sending cargo and people into space and for staying in orbit for extended periods of time. Are you ready for the commercial space age?
Đây, mua đồ mình muốn đi ếch gạo ở đâu? Đi đâu? Sao thịt bò đây? Tìm ra đi xào thịt bò rồi. Xào thịt bò. Cơm hộp mua đây. Tôi ăn. Tôi hơi cỡ kệ thì phải hết bữa.